Good morning, Lighthouse. Welcome to our final devotion on the series we've been going through. We've been looking at what does God want for us as a church, with a specific looking at the APEST gifts. And we've been unpacking those over the last 6 weeks. And on Monday, Conor encouraged us to think about what giftings maybe we have, what has God gifted us with, and what do we need to do to look into that further. And Conor's, we're going to be chatting with Ian, and Conor's going to ask a few questions, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, so Ian, first question, what is Lighthouse Vision? Can you just remind us of the vision before we kickstart?
Yeah, great. We talk about the vision of Lighthouse being a hub church, a gathering place in North Norfolk. We talk about it being a household to the nations. And we mean by that not that we are a physical house, but we are the people. We are the people of God, and that we want to bless the nations. It's not just about North Norfolk, although our hearts are huge for North Norfolk. It is about the nations. And within that, as a hub church, we talk about it being a community of people, a community of disciples. We talk about it being an academy where we can learn. We talk about it being a resource centre where we can resource not just our own folks, but other fellowships in the area. And we talk about it being an envoy, that we would be sent out on God's mission to fulfill his dreams. So those are the things that we mean about being a light church, a household. We talk about our values being worshipping God, making disciples, and transforming communities. So that's, COVID hasn't changed that. That's who we are, and it's as relevant as ever.
Yeah. Great. So you talked a little bit about Lighthouses Vision, and with what we've been looking at over the last few weeks with the APEST giftings, why is that so important to Lighthouses Vision?
I think it's so important to Lighthouses Vision because we are a community of people. So often church in this country for so many years has been built on a consumer model. You fill the pews and the people at the front do the entertainment. But fundamentally, we are a body with lots of different gifts, and the Church of Jesus Christ doesn't function properly unless people are using their gifts and they're making their community contributions as well. So it's important, we talk about the APEST gifts, but Paul mentions a load of other gifts. And if we're really going to be viable for the future, we need people to use the gifts that they've got if we're going to fulfill God's purposes to be a household to the nations.
Yeah, absolutely. And how important do you think it is post-COVID for the church to be using these gifts? What kind of is, how can you encourage them to be really stepping out into the gifts post-COVID?
I think never in my lifetime have I lived in a season where people are opting out. I think we've most probably lost about a third of our volunteers, whatever ministry you're talking about. And I've already had 2 WhatsApps this morning from church leaders around the country who are basically saying the same thing. And it's happening all over the country. And what we need at this time is we don't need the people of God to opt out. We need them to opt in, because the mission opportunities we're going to get in this season will be fundamental for seeing the kingdom come in the next 20 or 30 years. And if we just opt out and say, I've got comfortable watching online at home, I don't really want to do that, you're just going to miss out. And the body of Christ is going to miss out. And the mission of God will miss out, because we need your gifts. So it's hugely important at the moment, because we believe with all our hearts, church isn't just about me. And, there's so many issues. People are still full of fear. We're still seeing people coming back in dribs and drabs. And again, this is repeated all over the country. And we need a real surge for the Church of Jesus Christ to wake up to the mission of God and say, now's the time. It's not a time to hide. So, be who you are, be the gifted person you are, because the Church of Jesus Christ needs you.
That's really brilliant. Thank you, Ian. How can we opt in? How can we use our gifts to opt in and to, really step into what the church can be post-COVID and is called to be? Really encourage you just to go back, watch the devotions over the past weeks, really be praying about your giftings and just think about how you can really serve the church during this time. So thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you soon.